So it's been a while. Rushing home, have to be there 15 minutes earlier before the person who watches the kids has to go somewhere. So I asked my teacher to leave a little bit earlier today, but we had an amazing class. Like, I'm learning so much about how to teach English to the first graders in K-2. It's really amazing. So this week I had the opportunity to attend a career day in the junior high, and it was really fun because I was telling those 7th graders all about how after their college degree they could go and teach English in Japan, experience the culture, travel a little bit around if they are able to save up. Did some of the numbers, threw some numbers at them to see what's like working with yen, a little bit about the culture, a little bit about the school culture, the differences in schools here and schools there, and the kids had a lot of questions, and they had really good questions. Like, they were not like goofing around, and I realized 7th graders are really fun audience. Like, they're like kids in big bodies, but like, because they're tall, like some of them are taller than me, but there was one question that one girl asked, and keep in mind, future me, that I told them that where I come from, what country I come from, where I gained my education, what I gained my education in, and what actually I ended up doing in life. So I actually asked them in the very beginning to keep their minds open and to see that it's good to have an idea as a 7th grader what kind of career you want to pursue. Maybe you can have an idea or two or a few, but even if you invest all your time and sources and resources into this one thing that you're interested in, life can throw you lemons of all sorts and all kinds, and sometimes you have the ability to make them into lemonade, sometimes you don't, up to you. But it's also, anyway, so long story short, she like, so they knew like the path of life, what has been going through, what have been experiencing. So she's like, wait, I have a question. What was it like to go from this culture and this culture into this culture? And she was referring to like knowing that you're from Europe and you attended school, in a Western country. What was like for you to go and raise your family in this particular culture in Asia, in Japan, and raise your kids there? And it's like right within the core, that question. It's like, I was brutally honest with her, and I said it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Am I grateful for it? Yes. Why? Because I experienced a lot of things, both good and not so pleasant, within raising my kids and within the work culture. So that type of question made me think, the kids are understanding, they're thinking, they're not only they're just attentive that you're like having some PowerPoint showing them some stuff about the company you worked for in Japan teaching English, but like, the rules and whatever, but they also think on the side of like, oh, you're a person, you have feelings, you have your own culture, you've been experiencing other cultures, how does that reflect on you, and what does that, like, what was difficult, what was so one boy was asking me, what is like the most embarrassing thing that happened to him? Like, oh boy, there are so many, like I cannot even think of a particular one. I told him that a few times I would be teaching a 6th grade lesson. I caught myself and I started all over again, but like I would teach a 6th grade lesson to 5th graders, and I was like, oh wait, stop. Yeah. So I told him that my favorite no, my least favorite thing was to eat with the kids. I did not enjoy that so much because I don't know. For me, eating is like, I don't know. It's like I don't sit down on the same table with strangers and them watching me how I'm using my chopsticks. So I just throw back a question like, how many of you know how to use chopsticks? And they're like, all of them raise their hands. I'm like, oh, that's great. I self-taught myself when I was a college student. I would open a can of corn and I would just remove every piece of corn from the can to the bowl and from the bowl back to the can. So I was practicing and I taught myself. So they were like, oh yeah, you know, you can be a European and you can end up being in Asia and you could totally learn and do the things that they're doing there. So that's the lesson behind it. And so it was really great. It was really great. I enjoyed doing that. And then my oldest comes home, he's like, Mom, did you show a picture of me? I'm like, yeah, but you were actually with your hat on. Because he's like, oh, I had short hair back then. I'm like, don't worry, you were with your hat. Remember you had uniforms in Japan? He's like, yeah, I remember. So anyways, hold on, this is a big one. I have to go through that one. It's a big intersection and it's always busy, so stay with me. It's the one that I enjoy the least crossing, because especially around noontime. But gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, yeah, and I just learned today that I'm taking two English classes, like literacy and writing, and so I just realized today that I have to teach 2 lessons to the first graders I'm observing, not just for this one class but for the other one too. So, and then plus I have to do a research paper for one of them. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's becoming like more tight as the semester is slipping away slowly, but it's good because I learned so much. It's just I wish I had more time to juggle with all those classes I'm taking this semester, but it's good. Haven't had any opportunity to do any observations this week, but I hope tomorrow I can. But anyways, I'm surrounded by really good people who are always extending helping hand with watching the littles, so I can go observe classes. And probably next week I have to, after spring break, I have to start thinking and planning to teach. So it will be fun. I'm not scared of the teaching part. To me, the part that I struggle with the most is like to make the lesson plan in a format that the UDA standard one. And I can see how it's helpful, but it's just a lot of work to do. And it has to be 2 lessons per class. So one is without my mentor, with my mentor, without my teacher. The second class has to be with my mentor and my teacher present. And so that makes things a little bit more complicated, especially now that I know that there have to be 2 classes, 2 different separate classes, lessons teaching. So that's like 4 lessons. But it is what it is. Oh, this car revving their engine around here reminded me of, was it yesterday? Yesterday I was driving back, and on that intersection, the one that I struggle the most with, you know how when you make a left turn, you have to go in the middle and then get from there. Well, I don't know, I guess I was tired, didn't feel myself or whatever, and I just didn't have the guts to cross before it turned right again. And so my car was like on the pedestrian walk, like where they cross. It was not like taking a whole place, but it was like 2/3 of it. So my car was on it, and I couldn't back up because their car's behind me, and go forward because I don't want to be smashed by other cars and huge tracks here. But but there was this young girl, probably high schooler, I don't know, could be older, I don't know, but she had her earphones, like the big ones, hanging around her neck, and she it was cold and windy, and it was like just no pleasant at all, and she was like crossing, and because she had to go just around my car, like she looked at me, and I could read the words she said with her mouth. It was like, and she was like very like this angry face with this rage and like this swearing and everything. And I was like, I didn't say, I just looked at her and I let her, and then she just walked away. Now she crossed and everything, and I just looked at her back, and I looked at her backpack. You know, she had her layers, she had a lot of stuff. It's a neighborhood where there's a train stop, but also there is a lot of people who are on the influence of some kind of substances all the time. Like, it's really scary to just look at them, like that they're not being themselves. And anyways, it was just really grotesque. It was like not really pleasant thing to see. It was really not pleasant thing to see at all. And yeah, it wasn't. So sorry, changing lanes. And it made me think, like, I don't judge. So I just looked at her back as she walked away, and I was like, I was praying in my heart, like, this girl needs love, attention. She needs warmth. Like, people who are like so easy to look at you with hatred, and that's like to me, it's not like them being rude, they want to hurt me. I don't take it personally anymore. It's like they seek, that's their defense right away. They're like, they would react the way they react because of the lack of what is like love, warmth, compassion, friendship, family. Like, I don't know what's her deal. I know, because I was a rebellious teenager. I was swearing a lot. I had a fair share of my teenage rebellion age, and yeah, so I remember, and I've been going through those feelings and emotions, and I know, and it's because I never had a family as a whole in my life either. Like, I didn't blame my mother for divorcing my father, but I also was not happy with the fact that they were not together, because I loved them both. And I didn't have the chance to grow up with my dad and get to know him. And he, like, I know there will be goofy moments where I'll be like sick of him too. Like, I know those things, but you know, when you don't have them, you don't know what's like. And so, have I not had the chance to embrace my Savior and the light that and peace He brings into my life, I probably will be like on those streets, maybe somewhere in Bulgaria, and just existing, living. But I think the Lord puts perspective into life, and I'm grateful for that. But anyways, teaching is great. Learning how to teach is great. My 6th grader right now is going every other day to places because they're finishing school soon and they're gonna graduate the elementary. And so in his school particularly, the 6th graders stay with the elementary, but there is a lot of schools that's secondary. Actually, from 6th grade they start secondary, so middle school start from 6th grade. But in his school and that neighborhood unit, they have the 6th graders with the from K to 5, and so they go to places. They're gonna go to B's game in the Salt Lake City stadium. They're gonna go. They went today to watch ballet. On Tuesday he went to, what was it? Some kind of IMAX, huge theater where they watched some science stuff. So it's fun. It's really fun for him. I know they went to the planetarium. I know I know my first grader went to, you know, they go to the capital and they just see, he went to this biz town where he had like a job. Everybody, all the fifth graders have a job in that biz town, and then he had to be dressed up like really official. So he put his church clothes, white shirt, necktie, and like a suit jacket. It was really cute, and the teacher sent me pictures. It was really cute. But yeah, I feel like we're all going to school, we're all learning and expanding and just adjusting to the new life here. And it's been almost a year since we've been here. On April 12th will be a year mark, and it's been honestly, for that 1 year I have read more. I've read and I've written more than my entire life as a mom having 5 kids. It's unreal. I've read so much and I enjoy reading. I just wish I had more time to do that. But I love reading and learning new things. It's amazing to me. And I know there is a lot of things that my professors prepare me for in real life, because, you know, it's one thing to be taught in a classroom the rules, the strategies, the manuals, the procedures, the classroom management aspect of it, like all that. But when it's like real life, when it hits you for reals, then it's something. Then it's good to know and remember all those notes that you took, and all those manuals, and all those rules, and all those things that you keep dear and near in those binders and notebooks. So yeah, and some of my professors share like personal stories from their classrooms, and I can see how. So one of my professors, he just said, my heart was ripped out of me a long time ago since I started teaching. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you cannot put feelings and emotions within like the classroom, like teaching and knowing the background of the kids. Like some of them like are dealing with a hardship, a challenge, a family situation, a lot of things. And so he said my heart was ripped out of me a long time ago. I'm like, oh, and that's a guy saying. It's like if it's a lady teacher, I don't know how they do it. You have to be tough. You have to toughen up a lot, I feel like. But it is what it is. Picture me, you're getting one step closer. Every semester is one step closer to the reality of being an educator in Utah.